we're watching that. I work for MrBeast. He's a sociopath. This is part 2 of the other MrBeast video.
I'm hungry! I'll write jokes for food!
What are we even watching?
Exactly. I can't believe they did that to you guys. Like, Brexit ruined your passport.
Your philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it! Hey! What the hell happened to you? MrBeast, that's what happened to me!
What we do here is go back.
I was gonna be somebody! I was gonna be the... Carl should lay down! Carl should lay down! This is worse than the extradited did to make me do!
I support this police brutality!
No!
Content creators.
Okay, content
Too loud again?
cop from Temu back at it
Is this any
again.
better?
So just before I get into my interrogation with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, a lot has happened since my last video. After posting it, I got hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices.
Shut up, monster! I'll time you out, bitch! I turn it up and down depending on the video. Shut up.
This is, you know, toxic workplace, stuff like that. I'm not really going to get into those claims because, for one, like, most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand. And also, like, I think most of that stuff's just been covered
because this guy talks very softly.
You know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. And also, I have, like, more serious allegations that I want to start covering. Also, I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2. You know, like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Also, I know MrBeast's secret CEO has been practically like harassing my people on, you know, hey, what's in part 2? What does he know? So I will just tell you, James.
What's in part 2, guys? Hey, Monkey Milk, welcome in.
What will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes. And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen when we talk about that. So yeah, I've gotten dozens of messages from former MrBeast employees of very serious allegations. So I just want to put a call to action at the start of this video that, you know, if you have a story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first, because I get a lot of DMs. And like, as much as I meme and joke around, like, I take anonymity very seriously. So without explicit permission, I don't go public with anything. And obviously, if it goes to court, I would hope they would censor your information from the court documents. I don't know. Oh, and former contestants too. That's another thing I heard after posting my last video is during the 100 Boys versus Girls video, I have people corroborating the same story that the camera guy who gave the girls a drone was making some girls feel uncomfortable. You know, you trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay, that seems really dark.
What? Yeah, to be fair, at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if MrBeast have a Gimp Soup dungeon. He looks like the guy. I'm sorry. What? Yeah, huh? So the guys were hitting on the girls.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Anyway, so
Serial killer
that will be
eyes
part
for
3.
real.
So, you know, MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations.
Oh yeah, that is the guy that came out defending MrBeast stuff, but only did a couple. Concurring with the company, and he just didn't reply.
So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a MrBeast video, which never got uploaded.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never watched MrBeast because, as everyone knows here, he has lizard man eyes to me. You know what I mean?
Because it went very
like
badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get more into that story at the end of the video. So I got his DM, drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank a bunch of caffeine. And I also only had one microphone in the interview, which he's wearing. So it's mostly just him talking. Also, like, final thing, people said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It you know, builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've only watched a couple clips here and there.
Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle. Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe.
It was 50 minutes long for a lot of people, so attention deficit disorder is on the rise, my brothers. I know a lot of people couldn't watch it because they just I can't sit still that long.
Half the people who, if you made you be happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine.
But guys, how will I milk the ad revenue on my React channel if I watch it at 2 times speed?
It's okay. I feel so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, doing well. And I was, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right? Like publicly. And I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk.
Honestly, if I watch this by myself, probably. The thing is, I already get comments saying I don't talk enough about the points they make. Even though people also complain I talk too much. So
I used to blaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy, and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to, or I'll be sad.
Is this going to be a really sad video? Fuck. But we went through the same thing with Logan Paul. Once you're YouTube's golden boy, everyone just, kisses your bum cheeks, and everyone's going to be like, Dell, get your mind off the bums, and you can't make me. When you were watching it on stream, I left. Then when I came back later, you were on the child isle stuff, which was some.
If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it. So, as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner. But now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to.
True cop inception.
This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video,
I forgot what
crushing my friend's car with a rock or
I forgot.
meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor in the title of it. I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
There's different preferences, levels. Yeah, exactly. That's what I take it as. I just do it the semi-normal way because I don't. A lot of people like that I react so they can pay attention. So I
was the one and only time I had to. My car? What? And on the fly, I saw him because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, what? I'm on vacation. Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did.
That mom did a good job, yes. Yeah, exactly. I take a bit of feedback with sounds and stuff, but I just try my best to find something that's good for stream and good for me. Great, Mom. My sister would have said, you fucking lying bitch. She would have doxed me in 5 seconds.
That video, and they're supposed to give me $10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. 10K was supposed to be a down payment, and I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? If I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today.
That's a good
But
point. Destroys
now-
his car and gives him 10K. Why didn't you get a cooler car? Okay? Like, what the like, with what money, bro? He wanted him to go in debt for his video? Fuck off. The other room, yeah. If he wanted him to get a cooler car, I should have shelled out more.
I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. And then, you know...
Yeah, I would be curious to actually see how much he pays these people, because there seems to be a common thing of, like, not paying them much here. Mainly because it's kind of weird, like, he pays these people on to pretty much embarrass themselves. And if their pay is shit, that's fucking terrible.
I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what Writers Guild industry standard is for the streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my god, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up, and one of the things I didn't like about...
See, that's a good point you guys are bringing up. A lot of people don't think about a lot of sports cards and high-end cards have a expensive upkeep. Because it's for people that are rich. They're made to be pretty, not to be practical.
The way some of the V stuff shook out was... I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, it's fucked up, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, because you deserve to get paid more. I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, because when you grow up with nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did. You get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, imagine, that's so sad. Watching the MrBeast is a Psychopath video, that he makes up a good point there, that he gets shit pay, and he's able to live with it because he's by himself, but this guy's getting shit pay, and he has a kid.
But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, if that's, I trust you. He stood with me. He went into that meeting with me. And I said my piece, and he backed me up. I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet, and they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, people talk about MrBeast being kind or whatever, and they talk about a lot of rich people like this. But where's the kindness to the people that are employed by them? The people's lives they heavily affect by working for them. Kindness needs to start in your own home field, you know what I mean? It's very easy to give millions of dollars away for clout if you are fucking over your employees. For God knows how long, and look what came out. Honestly, I knew he had that. I never paid much attention to him because of his content. Other than his stuff seemed very old-fashioned YouTube.
Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? I don't get to deal with the how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day, And I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated. He did not want. I said he just wanted to be in the room,
Exactly. Imagine getting paid shit pay to publicly embarrass yourself on YouTube. It's kind of shit when you think about it. Yeah, and his friend lost his job because he rocked the boat.
And I really regret that.
'Cause it makes it, like, you'd be fine with it if they got paid well or had revenue sharing or something, but...
But, you know, me and him, we're really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Kinda. Yeah.
So maybe you feel better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought,
Yes, this
If
is
you're gonna do
exactly
some-
why millionaires and billionaires give to charity in general, and also they're never really anything that you can see the effects of, and tax write-offs too. Not everyone is like this, but like it's exactly why I would believe a YouTuber or content creator that does it not for content, even if it just gives it away quickly. But MrBeast turns every act he does into a bajillion-dollar video. So everything is calculated, everything has a return factor to it for him. Everything has clap in his cheeks, you know what I mean? So it's worth like keeping that in mind. And it's very calculated, because good publicity, like as we can see with all the backlash people get for calling out MrBeast, they're like, but he's done so much good in the world. It's like, okay, but does that actually does his intentions not matter? Does what else he does doesn't matter?
something nice for somebody and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image.
That's the thing. I get only doing them if the money from the videos goes to the person, so you need the videos. But if you're a millionaire or a billionaire almost, I don't know if he's a billionaire yet or anything, and you have to record every single good thing you do, that's a bit fucked, because like honestly, a lot of the time you don't need that revenue coming back to pay for it.
And you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what...
with power! Like, I hope not. Like, definitely not. I don't think so. Because I would like to, like, I think if I did that stuff, I'd just give stuff away without videos, unless I needed the video to pay to give away money, I guess.
Gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, you know...
I'm not actually sure. I would be interested in looking that up if he has any ongoing charities.
Oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. You know, I'm so glad he's... If you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, oh, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could,
This feels dirty, and I don't think I'd ever feel comfortable asking for, like, bro, can you cry more? Like, I am giving you 5K. Can you cry more? Do this crazy stunt for so many days for lots of money? Exactly, guys. Dance for me, monkeys, dance!
It made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, you know, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, you know, and then that never happened. And I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ. And then I got the severance checks, so, you know, whatever, all that regard.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's like on its own. That's the thing. It's not on its own a terrible thing. It's just when it's the only thing.
After your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back for something. You know? Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back. You know, and I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was, you know, clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video I was in, I got paid a lot for, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It was like one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
Jeez. Use the money that I can to invest in specific companies instead of using it to share brokers. I just get taxed so much for it. Taxes, bro. And Valkyrie, thanks for the flow. Welcome in.
I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. You know, the most change I had in my pocket ever. You know, small potatoes. Yeah, compared to Beast bullshit, but you know, I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And I get a call.
It depends. I think we're still really in allegation phase. There's a lot of people coming out about him and a lot of like the Amazon court cases and stuff. I would say he's not innocent, but is he guilty of everything? It's hard to say at the moment. But there was a confirmed sex offender employed by him, which is odd. That part has
somebody
been
over
confirmed.
there. And they go, hey, they want you for a video.
The Ava person. It
I was
was
like, oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God. What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, you know, today, and they had like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for me to last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first. It's going to be like a breeze for most of it, and by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me. I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure. They were like, you're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time.
Guys, would you do this for 300K? Like, realistically, though.
You're perfect for this, because you never shut the fuck up. On paper.
I have been accused of being cute. It's true.
I was like, okay, I can do this, and they always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride, and I get there.
Yeah,
and at first
someone
it's
else. I can't remember. I don't know their
name.
And
I mean, they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good. The smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual.
It's either a mohawk or a mullet, either way, black.
It looks good on camera, it's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. I mean, it was in one of the studios.
That's the thing. People are used to being alone because they have like the internet and everything like that. So it depends if you do have Wi-Fi in
there. They had to like get like a separate like tank for septic stuff. There was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Like things were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff. A hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system. Give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. There's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking like a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine.
Can't even jerk off, guys. Yeah, Kid Nation.
Talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes. On, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. So I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time.
Yeah, no one talks about how gross Sunday machines smell if you can't clean them. It's one of the worst smells I've ever smelled.
I couldn't have all of them good. So
God, not
the
that.
little things started to build up. There was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor. And like at first it was fine, and you're playing it up like because it's a video, and it got to a point where like they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? And they said no because it would fuck up the time lapse shots. The time lapse of what? Me sleeping or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Well, I don't know how they figured that one out. I didn't have it. One of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off.
Hey, Nettie. But, like, that's the thing. Like, as people point out, having the lights on 24/7 is a torture thing. So, yeah, that's actually against the law. So.
And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would
My
turn off.
point is, why don't they look up what the laws are instead of testing it on someone? Seems ridiculous.
And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. So, they're giving me, melatonin, it's not helping, and then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so you'd come by, he'd get the shots.
Yeah, until you waste. I'm assuming he got his prize money. Like they wasted $300,000 doing that.
He'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note for the director over the phone that would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director from Jimmy when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine?
I'm so thankful I got tortured. I can imagine going all that and it only pays off your student loans in America. Hellish. Hey, Grandmaster. Yeah, they failed the basic research here.
I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. There's something about
Exactly. This is why I can't be an actor. If some guy asked me to do this, I'd be like, fuck off, bitch.
like having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time.
Yeah. I would have been like, fuck you guys, fuck you, I'm going home. MrBeast cage. Why do I need the MrBeast cage? I've done nothing wrong. Exactly. You shouldn't be able to use money to treat people like animals.
But we were filming a video.
That's what's funny about these shows. These shows can be quite entertaining, obeying the law, but like they always end up at this point where they treat people like they're just something to make money.
Yeah. So I was trying my best to be funny. I'm a dark comic. I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor, so this kind of stuff is very near to my heart. I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. Abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a typing about it. So I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming. So I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, like, hey, it's been a couple days, I'm not doing so hot, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera, but it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? If we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time-lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes! I was starting to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. Since we're doing time-lapse shots and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we'll give you time-lapse shots back. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You got that whiteboard. Oh, no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, James Warren came in and erased it, fucking, don't put that, hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there, like we were playing up the joke, it's like, I'm the boy in the cage, whatever. Like, I'll play into a joke, whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes from my
To be fair, that's a point here. He didn't actually say, did he try and actually quit? Like, I guess he didn't want to quit because of money, but what he was asking is like, oh, did you, like, want to quit or try to quit? Did they let you quit?
My dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. I guess piece of shit. I hate my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad... I don't mind the idea of, like, parodying Squid Games. Yeah,
like a fun little, like, harmless game, but it has to be harmless. It's supposed to be, like, a harmless version of the game.
It's starting to seem weird. I don't like it. We're doing that, one of those hide-and-seek videos. Again, at the time, they were a lot realer. So I got caught. And when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if, I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you're going to jail, like your dad. And, like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss. And that wasn't cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying,
I feel like, what? Hey, Lazy. I feel like a big piece of the puzzle here is showing, like, how much he paid them. Like, and stuff like that. Like, does he hire people that are just poor to make them in these situations? Or is it also how much he pays keeps them poor? Or do the people that don't need the job just quit because
you good, bud?
if they don't need it?
And I was like, yeah, why? You're clearly unwell. And he goes, well, because the footage you're sending...
Reviews of previous employers are public, but I guess it's because, like, a lot of American companies use NDAs up the wazoo a lot, right?
It is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits. Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm thinking, like, who's watching
that's what
this?
I'm
like, who?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, does the desperation people just stay, and that's why this happens so much? And he ends up with a bunch of people that are desperate?
Who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in, and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, why is he sleeping? I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up.
That's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh my god, his videos are fake, and it's like, no shit, bro. Like, of course his videos, like, I didn't even watch his stuff, and yeah, his videos are fake most of the time. I didn't automatically say the winners are fake, but, like, a lot of things are fake, even to the untrained eye.
And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the
That's the thing, when you don't need it, you're not
22.6K,
gonna
whatever it
have to
is.
work, but a lot of people
You're
have
gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge Rubik's Cube. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. I was like, on camera. I don't want to do it. He goes, just do it for the thing. My kid, yeah. Like there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. You know, that's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever.
Gone, yeah.
We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good.
Yeah, what? Hey, JB, but yeah, like, I expect, like, my little nephew thinks MrBeast was real. I can't imagine a grown adult that thought it was all real.
We know he's
crazy.
I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to do extra. MrBeast always does extra challenges inside the challenge. I think without telling them a lot of the time from little things I've seen.
So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, you know? Let alone a marathon, let alone have to train for it. So I was in a sunlightless, you know.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know? And if I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't.
That's the thing I hate with these, is at least a lot of reality shows are supposed to give you the choice. Even if it doesn't work out for you, the contestants have choice.
Walk, my muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well. And like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him.
Shame what happened to him.
Like I'm a ghost.
Jesus.
And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it. They brought in all the people I liked, and Jimmy. Then everybody was around me, making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had his he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God. Everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video, and he's like, oh, stop, you're going to make me cry.
Lizard man performance coming in.
And he touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just...
I'm curious if he actually...
I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, your mental health's the most important thing. Just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out.
I'm gonna get sued.
I did not yet. to 300K. What I got. He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take.
That's the thing. That's why a lot of this was coming out too. Is that the Amazon Prime show, someone apparently had to be taken to the hospital. So like that's the thing. These things are dangerous.
You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone, and now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I'd still gotten some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And
imagine being the kink test. Instead of, you know, like researching. You would think it would be cheaper. But it seems just so careless.
I feel good though. I just had to get that off there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things. Reminder, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a MrBeast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better, like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out, I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if
it's kind of weird that they didn't at least give him the whole money after it was such a disaster, you know, to stop him suing or something, to try and...
you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money. So good. I appreciate. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much, one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like, if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like, the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical, like on every level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds.
Yeah, like, honestly, like, having them stuck in a room is a lot of work already. And to have a physical task like that, there's so many other things they could do. You know what I mean? To make it interesting, than try and, like, just push them physically when they've just been in that room. Standing in court. Yeah, it's like they were doing with the MrBeast games. They were trying to get people to sign NDAs, but for, like, only $1,000, and I'm like, uh-oh, no. Good luck with that.
Seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing. Felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like of Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP, part of me wants to...
If Jeff Bezos had a GIMP, oh, that is like extra brutally funny, I think, because like he's partnered up with Jeff Bezos in his newest stuff. Oh my god.
Footage burned, and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No does not mean no. Already insane, because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting.
I've already uploaded the first one. Like, the first one reacting to about this on my other channel. I haven't got anything yet.
Which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value.
Okay, state rapist, what the fuck is that? Yeah. Never take no at face value. Okay.
If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees, because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer,
yeah,
hey,
I've set lines, but I've never been like truly like poor in a long time. Like, we know, like getting kicked out of home. I feel like when you're at more desperate lines, people are more likely to say yes. Whereas beyond and say, I made these people buy stocks to ruin the economy for X amount of money.
We need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer's sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired, you know? I'll show you a real life example.
Yeah, also bend the rules or break the law. That seems pretty illegal.
This is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Ayden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to not being able to get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It. Where at the end of that video, he actually says,
if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating a similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast
18 years in the making to see which parents can raise the best kids. Oh no.
Production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say. but they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like, you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day. Like, they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like, I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of,
yeah, there would be a lot of debris there. What do you mean my clown nose means everything's right in the world? What do you mean, Nixie? I'm a copper.
hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't like technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out.
Because of the implication.
Isn't it illegal to put your employees under such pressure? Like it's using your power position to get them to do what you want?
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe, had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it. Because I had it rough growing up. And I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand-up, he loves YouTube, everyone, fixates on a thing, I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad. And
we need contracts.
Because the industry's metrics, rewarded some not great behavior. If you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And
I do agree that the internet algorithm completely rewards this kind of behavior. Like, we're all very aware of this. It's the same, like, on TikTok and stuff where they do those shady giveaways. It's just he does them. They completely rewards, the algorithm rewards the behavior. The algorithm.
Didn't care who got hurt.
2024.
And I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do.
Yeah, I would say I hate
And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't want anyone's reputation to be fucked. But let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad was like a swim coach, your neighborhood swim team. Everybody loved it.
Hey, Hangy, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Delinquents.
Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit. And so, when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No! Surely! And then, everyone, thought my mom was the bitch.
For this kind of person, it's like angel in the streets, devil in the angel in the streets, devil behind closed doors or something. And it's because some of the nastiest people pretend to be the nicest.
For not, the day the news broke, that he did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's like when that comes out, you're not surprised, You just go, when I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No, what?" I was, "Oh, dumbass! God damn it!"
Hello, welcome from YouTube. Hey, Light Dragon, welcome in.
But I wasn't surprised, and it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves.
Oh my god,
Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is.
That is a good way to put it. Come on.
Not super great, and that image is cultivated purposefully and intentionally. And it's branding, it's marketing, it's YouTube.
Okay, so I guess, yeah, just one final question.
Sure.
Seriously.
It's one of the biggest advices they give you when you become a content creator. You must make yourself a brand. You must sell yourself as a brand. You must connect images and stuff. And it's like different versions of propaganda. That's pretty much what branding is. But it can be taken to a huge extreme. But literally, like, the whole of YouTube is made up this way that people won't click on people like that anymore. So everyone is pushed to do it.
Note, obviously, the Ava Chris Tyson drama. And, you know, that's a known issue of traditional media. Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast just because I was on Beast Hacks, now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just, you know, being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you.
Sir Twerks a lot is part of the brand, so is the officer outfit. Yes, it's all part of the brand. Same with the, what are we even watching, as cringy as it is, I guess. Turned into an abusive asshole. Yeah, sometimes people were always assholes, sometimes they become one.
Instead of...
No, I've never tried Feastables.
Talking to reporters sweetly like I have been, was when I saw the Discord stuff. I never... Because when I got there, it was like 2019, so I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term, and then they started bringing more people on. You know, maybe they thought they had that under the rug. You know, all right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers. You know.
Yeah, I heard it was trash.
When I saw it, all that stuff start coming out, and the potentiality as of this moment of recording. You know, I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats. Or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make fun of my dad.
Yeah, they're overpriced Garbo and they're like loaded with sugar. I didn't even know they tried to sell it as a healthier chocolate. Crazy.
I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens at this point.
Outside of it, Chris Tyson, did you notice any or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler.
But yeah, that is a problem. He's responsible for a lot of people, and not just as a YouTuber, he is responsible for these people as a boss. Yeah, this is like interviewing someone from the old MrBeast stuff.
Cooler talk, but I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, you know, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. You know, he's very careful about his image. You know, the tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. You know, how do you prove that, you know? Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything who worked there.
Why are we blurring, bro?
And like, you can, you know, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you know, you get it. You can still.
Maybe he got in trouble. Similar to that previous friend, because I don't think it's impossible for them to be a better person. Again, how I limit that interaction depending on what behavior. Personally, if someone's gone abusive and they don't change, I ditch them, because that's the only way they'll learn. If they think they can keep their life completely the same, they're definitely not going to change. But at some point, I think with people like that, you have to cut them off. But it depends how bad they are becoming. and what people mean by abusive, I guess.
Have a job after you're on the, that's one thing. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that.
1 to 11 years old. Ugh. Yikes. Jesus. Hey, Jada, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Delinquents.
He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people.
Yeah, especially, it's like, there's one thing wanting to rehabilitate someone, but it's a channel with kids content where kids get on it. He should not be working around kids.
And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face could be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to? Is it more on the nose, or I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth, you know. So I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still knew about it, and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquial.
Oh my god, what the fuck? You can't go back to Delaware because of crimes. So his nickname is Delaware.
Really? Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, you know? The fuck? And Jimmy knew about it? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. So apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
They're trying to get him off the registry? What the? Should be several banned from several.
Like, to be completely honest with you, the hustle, because extra money was made, like, it didn't fall back and say, you know what I mean? Like, if Jimmy was like, I need a set on, and I was like, would you do it for like $1,000? Well, that's like, straight up and fucking make a set for like 8 hours by yourself. You know, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was Reed's idea to get involved. And it was like, we need to get you an APL manager, and then we went through that whole cycle of different VPs and managers, and, you know, people that won't talk to us anymore because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you really don't do anything in the affidavits or testimonials from people, you have to move very quickly because, well, there's people that are going to go back and say Jimmy.
Okay, so Reed is MrBeast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children. So, you know, I think Reed's taken 2 W's this month, you know.
Confusing, yeah. Good voice distortion, yeah, I kind of can barely understand what the fuck he's saying.
Don't promote gambling to children, and don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know, but, you know, I know that...
Right, just the house husband Dilf. What kind of question is that?
I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with, so I'll just say preemptively, like, you know, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks.
He's not running his company correctly. Like, that's the best you can say. Well, I was a complete idiot and I didn't actually run my company. What?
Everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying, I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company and you know, a company that makes content for children and is around children? So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you or you know, your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures, running illegal lotteries, you know, the dangerous conditions on the set of Beast games.
Like been deleting YouTube comments, I think.
Address those too. So yeah, just let us know. Okay, that was my interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle. I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you do.
I put that sad. But it's hard to take it serious when they're just like he's crying and then he's sad. But like, that's the thing. He got a cease and desist. I'm pretty sure. For his previous video.